So in this video, I'm just gonna talk briefly about the illusion of separation and how the felt sense of separation creates a lot of problems. The felt sense of separation is just an idea, basically, that is believed. So to begin, we can talk about belief and how belief works. I've heard somebody say at some point that if you believe in God, it's not that you say that you believe in God. You live and act as if God is real. That is what it means to believe in God. To me, an even clearer example is to believe in Santa Claus. As a kid, you believe in Santa Claus, and to believe in Santa Claus is to live and act as if Santa Claus is real. So the kid sees a guy in red clothes and a beard and creates a story and a narrative in their own mind, dependent on what the parents told them, that he lives in the north and he has this little elves that helps him, and they make all the Christmas gifts, and he flies around on a sled one night every year to hand the kids gifts. And the child really believes that that is true. He lies awake at night and dreams about the gifts that is going to be given, and he writes a list for Santa about the things that he wants. So, in believing in Santa Claus, the kid have real life consequences to that belief. So, even though the kid believes in Santa Claus, it doesn't mean that Santa Claus is real. And one day, the older brother of the kid points out that, look, have you seen that Santa Claus wears a mask and he has dad's ears? In that moment, the kid will see that Santa Claus isn't real. And in that moment, it's a seeming shift from the time when the kid believed in Santa Claus to the time when he didn't. It doesn't mean that Santa Claus was not real before and now. Sorry, it doesn't mean that Santa Claus was real before and not real afterwards. No, Santa Claus was never real. But the belief was real to the kid, so there is a before and after, a seeming before and after when the kid acted and lived as if Santa Claus was real, and after when the kid doesn't act and live as if Santa Claus is real anymore. And this is how the illusion of separation works. When we believe in separation, we live and act as if separation is real. And then you can see through this illusion and see that, aha, there was actually no separation. And then there is a seeming shift when we realize this, but separation was never real. It is just that we believe that it was real, and then we don't believe that it's real. And in believing in separation, we will have real life consequences. So, what do I mean by separation? Well, separation basically means that I think that I am self that is separate from those other things. There is an inside and an outside, there is a me, there is a you, there is a here, there's a there, there is a this, there is a that. That is basically what separation is. It's duality. We think that the two sides of the coin are separate. But this is not the case. The separation is a seeming separation. We think that there is good and that there is bad. And intellectually, we can understand this pretty well. I think that most people who've heard about separation and the illusion of separation they understand it on an intellectual level, and that's where you need to begin, because if you don't have an intellectual understanding of it, it's hard to kind of understand and see to what that intellectual understanding is pointing. But separation is not an intellectual understanding, or rather, to see through the illusion of separation is not an intellectual understanding. You can understand it completely fine intellectually, but still believe in the illusion. So, with the example of the kid, it can be that the bigger brother points out that the guy in front of him is not really Santa Claus, but the kid can still believe in Santa Claus, right? He can think that, yeah, but Santa Claus is so busy, so he just asked Dad for help. But Santa Claus is real. He lives in the North Pole, and he has his elves, and he still makes gifts, and it was Santa Claus who sent me the gifts that I got for this Christmas. So you have an intellectual understanding that Santa Claus isn't real, but you still believe in Santa Claus. And yet, in most cases, we need that intellectual understanding to see what this is pointing to. And we can see it in many ways. There are many different ways of trying to explain this, but one way or one beginning is to see that good or bad is not two separate things. And this is actually one of the last aspects of the illusion that tend to fall away. When we begin to see through the illusion, it for most people happens in stages. So in the first stage, we have an experience when we see through that the idea of a me that it's separate and apart from experience isn't actually real. But even when that idea falls away, we still identify with aspects of experience and take them to be me, which is separate from not me. And further down the line, we'll still have a felt sense of separation in the illusion of good and bad, or above and below. So what do I mean by this? Well, in most cases, people have the felt sense of an inadequacy. They feel inadequate. They feel as if, this isn't really it. There must be something other than this, and that thing is not here, it lies in the future. But what we fail to recognize is that this inadequacy needs a projection of something better. But that projection is actually taking place right now. We evaluate by using thought the felt sense of inadequacy towards some better opportunity or possibility. The inadequacy and the thing that is better, those two are not separate. They exist because we believe in their separation. I am inadequate. I am inferior to, or this experience is inferior to, that thing which I believe in the future is going to be better than this. It isn't real. And when we believe in this above and below, sooner or later it's going to flip. And we're going to believe as if, now I finally understand it. I have it. I've got it. This is it. Yes! But what we fail to recognize is that we have already created something that is below, in which we compare this which is above, this which I have, this which I got, this which I understand. And we must create separation, to be able to believe in that we have something, that we are something, or that this is it. So the separation isn't real because the felt sense of I've got it, I have it, stands in opposition to something that is worse than this, and that is just an idea that we created right now to be able to feel superior, to be able to feel as if we got it, as if we have it. And if we look closely at this experience, it's actually uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because it's something that we can lose, and sooner or later it will be slip through our hands. It's like, no, I don't have it anymore. This is not it. And so it goes. And we begin to reject ourselves and our own experience because that which is inferior, that's not me. I don't want to feel that because I have it. And then when it turns around, oh, I'm so inadequate. And we continue to reject that because I don't want to feel that. But that which is good, that is not here, we pretend as if that is not who we actually are. And so it goes above and below, above and below. But when we finally recognize that those things are not separate, the whole thing collapses. And comparison can never exist again experientially. I mean, of course, the interpretation machine, the mind doesn't stop working like that. It's just going to be there, and we can still say like, this is good and this is bad. We can still interpret reality, but experientially it won't feel, or we won't believe that narrative again. Because we see that there is no comparison. It is just what it is in every moment, including this thing. It was already that, but we just believed that it wasn't. But in believing that it wasn't, we were identified with the tension. But then when we stop identifying and we see clearly that there is no comparison, not even the same, it disappears. And that is one of the last aspects of the illusion of separation that falls away. And with that comes incredible things, like there is a belief that we have to do something about it. So we are restless because we think that we need to fix or do something about the experience that we're having. But when we don't believe in good or bad anymore, it just flows naturally. And even if some slight discomfort arises, we see clearly that nothing needs to be done about it. Restlessness completely falls away, which is incredible. It is a type of relaxation that is not understandable in the state where you believe in separation. And all the suppression that was going on and was taking place in the separate state, it just gets lifted from us. So there might be moments of quite intense emotions, but when there is no suppression and when there is no comparison of saying that these feelings and emotions are good and bad, it just flows naturally through us and it gets emptied out. Because we clearly see what it is. And this shift is an actual real perceptual shift, because beforehand it felt as if I was someone in here looking out, having to control, having to position myself, and so on. Like, that took place because we actually believed that there was some sort of separation. And we thought that that was actually a necessary aspect of reality for reality to be able to continue. But apparently it wasn't. So we just let go of it. It's like, when the kitchen fan is on and you sit and eat, and like, you don't notice it, but when somebody gets up and turns it off, there is this tremendous amount of relaxation that comes, and it's just like, oh, I didn't notice that. That feels so fucking good. And it's like that when the sense of separation disappears. It is that type of relaxation. And yeah, it's much better than anything I could ever have imagined. In the separate state, you only imagine uh, things that is going to give you something in the future, some feeling or some experience. This is not like that. And you see that those things cannot give you anything. This is much, much better. This is what the billionaires hope that the billions or the status and the power and whatever is going to give them. This is what they're looking for. And this is what you are looking for. Clearly. And it's not separate from your experience right now. The only thing that creates the separation is the belief in separation. So that is what you have to figure out. It's not really something you have to figure out. You just have to look and see in your own experience in such a thorough way that you can never believe the belief again. That you can never believe that separation exists. And once you've seen it thoroughly, you can never go back into that old illusion of separation. And yeah, it's amazing. And it's not me being some special guy, not at all. I'm completely ordinary. I'm not better than anyone. I don't have some secret sauce that you don't have or anything like that. Not at all. It's just a simple recognition about what's already the case, and I've seen it in the people that I've pointed this out to, that it has become their experience as well. It's just ordinary people who were willing to look, and who were curious enough to find out for themselves. So please let me know how it goes, and reach out if you have any questions, or if you want to work with me uh, one on one to have this as your lived experience. Don't hesitate to reach out. And yeah, I really hope that you find this piece for yourself.